but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. And where your treasure is, there will your heart is. You also speak on the first part, pretty much. You got a bunch of things that you have your interest. Money can bunch of things that you can consider focus on. You can have food collection, you can have shoe collection. All those things are being Cloak. Right, those are things.
Shalom. So we out here another week, you know, doing the work. But before we get going into it today, we're gonna give all honor, glory, and praise to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, walk without Shukah. Right? Number one is to the elders over at the Great Millstone, who rule well. Also, shalom as well to all the elders of the Israelite nation out who rule well, you know, and that teach the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. All right. Also, shalom to the rest of you men out here doing this work, man. You know, the true followers of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. The men out presenting their bodies a living sacrifice to do this work. All right. And also, shalom to the rest of the 1/3 men, women, and children, also of the Israelite nation, you know, who has forsaken this world and come back into, you know, the truth of the matter, you know, being that you so-called black people, which would be you so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native American Indian people, you know, are in fact the true Israelites, all right? So, another week, more work, but before we get to it, shalom, you know what I'm saying? We'll kick it off. Kick it off, give me Psalm chapter 83. 82 and 5. Yep.
In Psalms 82, verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, all the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Also, right? And that they that we talking about is no other than the Israelites, man. He just said are the so-called black people, so-called Latinos, so-called Negroes, so-called Native American Indian people. All right, they go on and they walk on in this darkness. And this darkness that we walking on is that these people are said to walk on is the way of this world, man. The way of this world that has been given into the hands of the so-called white man. And the Israelites are said to be walking on the darkness, knowing not, neither understanding. So they walking around. Alright, so these people who once knew who they were, and they knew their heritage, they knew where they came from. Very read that again,
Psalms 82, verse 5. Said, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Right. So the foundations of this place is out of course, and therefore the Israelites walking around in darkness, man, not knowing who they are, calling themselves black people. Walking around understanding of who they truly are, where they truly come from. See? So if the issue is that the Israelites are walking on in darkness, what are they missing? You You know, they're missing what is the most valuable to them, the most valuable thing to the Israelites. You know, which is the Lord. You know, ultimately knowing who they are and understanding that they the chosen people, that the Lord has chosen, you know, above all people on the face of the earth. That's a good starting place. You know, but it's so much deeper. You know, we were meant to be so much more. We're supposed to be the judges and the governors of this earth, meaning our rule is the way to actually perform and obtain life. But when that's taken away from the Israelites and the world has flipped everything upside down, the Israelites, they don't have any substance, meaning they're given over to darkness, given over to the ways of their oppressors, given over to the ways of their enemies, not knowing who they are. But their actual natural stead will be on top and actually acting as lights. So give me Philippians chapter 2 and verse 15.
Philippians 2 verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
Read that again, it's like
Philippians 2 verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God.
Right, so we're supposed to be blameless and harmless. We're not supposed to be walking around in darkness. We're not supposed to be walking around in sin, you know, destroying ourselves, right? We're supposed to know who we are. We're supposed to have a sense of identity. We're supposed to understand we're Israelites. We're held to a certain standard. We're held to a certain standard that the Lord, the Most High God, has given us. He has given us a standard, you know, and that standard is to be, you know, what this goes on to say. You keep on reading.
Continue on to Philippians 2:15. The sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
Right. We're supposed to be the sons of God without rebuke, and we're in the midst, meaning we're amongst a crooked and perverse nation. You know what I'm saying? But we're supposed to stand. We're supposed to stand by what we have. We're supposed to be holy, meaning set apart. You know. So we got to be. So we're supposed to stand without blemish, ultimately. We're supposed to stand outside of the darkness, be separate. That's why the scriptures constantly remind us to come up out of this place, right? Be not part of this place. Be not a partaker, you know, of the plagues that are coming to this place, you know? And you start by coming back to this truth, man, understanding who you are, where you come from, you know, taking in the milk, obtaining the milk, understanding you Israelites, man. Really truly understanding this, believing it, but also collecting the knowledge on it so you can actually sustain. You can finish reading that though, bro.
Yeah. Continue on to Philippians 2:15. Without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation,
right?
Among whom we shine as lights in the world.
Yeah, among whom we shine as lights in the world. You know, so we're ultimately supposed to shine as lights. That's our true stead. We're supposed to be lights out here. We're supposed to bring light to this world that's ultimately in darkness. Go back to the Psalms 83 and verse 82 and 5. You see? We're actually supposed to be shining as lights amongst a crooked and perverse nation that has taught our people that we were dumb, man. That we were the lowest people. We're black. We're Latinos, we're so-called Mexicans, we're Spics. All of these bywords instead of who our God-given name, who we truly are, our true power, you know, what we truly stand for. And we're supposed to truly stand for the light. We're supposed to shine as lights to our nation and show these people forth who they truly are, you know. You can read that again, though, the 82 and 5.
Psalms 82 verse 5 says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, all the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Yeah, but instead, we're in a place that's out of course. You know, the foundations of the earth are out of course, meaning things are upside down. Things are not in course. A course is a way, it's a direction, you know, if you're following the course. If it's out of course, that means things aren't exactly turning over to be how they should be, how they were designed to be. Therefore, the people are walking on in darkness, and those people are the Israelites. And again, being the so-called black people. You see? They're walking around in darkness, but yet they're supposed to be lights. And what happens when a light shines in the darkness? It It shows the way. You know, and that's the ultimate need and reason and purpose for the light is to shine and show the way. If you give me Proverbs 6 and 23, Proverbs
6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp.
Right. So the commandment is a lamp. You know, we'll start there. The commandment that we were given. The commandment was given to the Israelites. Specifically to the Israelites. The commandment is a lamp. Meaning these commandments. Could you go into the word commandment? Go into the word commandment. So the commandment ultimately goes into ways, it's the law overall. And then you look at it, it's pretty much the application of the law, the use of the law are the commandments. See? You got it, whatever makes sense.
It says commandment in the Hebrew. It says the commandment of man, the code of wisdom, the law, ordinance.
Say commandment of God.
Yeah, the commandment of God.
Yeah, that's the most important commandment, the commandment of God. That's the only true commandment. And the commandment of God was given directly to the Israelites. The Israelites being so-called black people. Again, Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indian, all so-called. All right, that's who this commandment was given to from the Most High Power God. What are some other words it said?
Other words ordinance.
Yeah, ordinances.
Law.
Law is law, and I think you said code. The code.
Code of wisdom.
It's the code of wisdom. The commandments is like the code. They're the code to wisdom. Meaning these commandments, it feels like to think of a combo lock. You know, you got a 3-step combo lock. 3, 4, 7 is your code. You put that code in within the right the way it's supposed to be going in, meaning like the right doctrine. You know, because there's only one true doctrine. There's only one way to read this book of the law that is a doctrine, which is called the Bible. There's only one way to understand it. There's only one truth, meaning it has to be put in right. These commandments have to be understood correctly and performed correctly. All right? And these commandments, they give you wisdom when they're used correctly. But you can go back to the verse and read it from the top. 6 and 23.
Proverbs 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp.
Right. So the commandment is a lamp. So these laws, the commandments that the Most High God gave us are a lamp. And what do you use a lamp for? A lamp is used to shed light. It's a device that's used to actually harness light, and that light can be used effectively. And a lamp is ultimately used to direct, to show your way. You have to, if I'm in a dark room and I turn the lamp on, I'm able to see where I'm going. All right? I'm able to know what to avoid. I'm not going to stab my toe because I got that lamp and it's going to show me that I almost bumped into this, or it's going to actually manifest in me whatever else might be in front of me. So the commandment is likened unto a lamp. Keep on reading.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
Yeah, so the law is light, you know, and that gives an answer to the question, like, what is this light? The light to us is the law, and that's why we're supposed to shine as lights in the crooked and perverse, in the midst of this crooked and perverse nation. We are to shine as lights, meaning we're supposed to shine through and show this law to our people, bring them back to who they always have been. You know, bring them back to the higher state, give them guidance, because this commandment is a lamp, and you use a light to show you the way. And if you go into the word law there real quick, you know,
law is direction, right? Instruction.
It says the law is the light, so the law is direction and instruction. All right. So these scriptures, these words, the words that are inside the scriptures, and it's true understanding. Have obtained the true understanding. All right? They're going to give you direction. They're going to give you true direction. They're going to tell you where you need to be. Is there any more on there that it says?
The divine direction and instruction.
Divine direction and instruction.
Body of prophetic teaching.
Yeah, it's a body of prophetic teaching. You know, and that's very important to understand. You know, and that body of prophetic teaching is the scriptures, man. The whole book and the Apocrypha. And that's, you know, that's very key to understand, because prophecy are things that are to be done, they have not yet happened. Things are to be said that is done, that are said to be done, and are going to go on to happen. All right, so that light is going to show you these things that are to happen. All right? So that's what the law represents. The law represents the light, which is going to give you the understanding to what is going on in this world and what is to come in this place. All right? So we go back to Psalm chapter 82 and 5. And then we'll return.
Psalms 82 verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court.
Yeah, now you go back to the Proverbs. And that's the condition, the current condition of our people, walking on in darkness. The majority, you know what I'm saying? Outside of those of the Israelite nation who have turned back, meaning they repented, they came back to their true heritage. They know the truth of the matter. They understand what's going on today. They no longer identify themselves as being so-called black people, so-called Mexicans, so-called Puerto Ricans, you know, so-called Latino people, so-called Native Americans, you see? They understand what's going on. But at large, they're walking on in darkness. The Israelites, they walk around completely in darkness, and they're supposed to be holding this light, which we went into, and the light is the law. So without the light or the law, our people are destroyed, man. They have no direction. They don't know where they're going. They don't understand that it's prophecies that are written specifically about them and to them. They don't understand that it's great salvation to come for your nation, for those who actually repent and come back to the Lord, man. They will never know that, and they're going to continue walking on the darkness and allowing their world to be out of course, being okay with that. Could go give me St. John chapter 6 and 63.
This is St. John 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth.
Yes, the spirit is what quickens, right? When we go into the word quicken, it means to bring to life. So it's the spirit that's going to bring you to life. All right? Keep on reading.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
The flesh that we have is going to profit us nothing ultimately, because it is going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, your flesh can never profit you anything because it's only temporary. The spirit is an ongoing thing. The spirit is infinite. So it's the spirit that's actually going to quickly bring you to life. You must be obtaining to spiritual things, building your spirit, building yourself according to the true ways that the spirit wants, which will be the words of God, which you will find in the law. You find that law within the book that is called the Bible. That's where you find your heritage. That's where you find your truths. Keep on reading.
The words that I speak unto you.
The words, these words that we speak and these words that we read it from. The words of this book that is called the Bible, the words that are speaking, and these are red letters. Meaning this is Yahweh speaking. Yahweh being who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Who is in fact, in truth, a so-called black man. You know, as we would say. But truly he's an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? And he's coming for his people. The words that he speaks or spake to us that we read and that we seek for life when life therein. You can finish.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Yeah, they both spirit and they're life. So through these words is where we're actually going to find life, man. So you have to come back, you Israelites, to this word, man. Come back to this truth. Come back to the reality of the matter. You know, because this place that we see today, you know, is prophesied to have a big downfall, right? America will soon be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. And we know that through the word. You know, it's mostly because the word brought us light to understand this. And we understand it in its true doctrine, man. In its true ways, the true ways need to be understood, heard, and known and taught to our nation specifically. You know, because these words were only specifically given to the Israelites. And if you could read that one more time and then out to chapter 11.
John 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth,
right?
The flesh profiteth nothing.
Flesh is going to profit you anything, you know?
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Yeah, these words are spirit and life, man. What we're reading is spirit and life. And you have to truly get the understanding of it so you can apply it so it can actually feed your spirit, so it can bring you life. You know, this isn't something everybody's going to be able to pick up and retain or obtain to. You know, the Lord has chosen who he wants specifically to get this. And that's all who's going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect everybody to understand it when they hear it right away. You know? But this word is spirit and it's life. And again, that's to you Israelites. That's who these words are to. That's who the commandment was given to. 11 and 43.
This is Luke 11.
34. It's a lot.
And this is Luke 11, verse 34. The light of the body is the eye.
Right.
Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body also is full of light.
Right, so the light of the body is the eye. But we just read that the flesh profited nothing, man. So it's a deeper understanding here. So just to make a point real quick, give me Matthew chapter 13 and verse 13.
Matthew 13, verse 13. Therefore, speak I to them in parables.
All right, so again, this is Yahweh speaking. Those are red letters if you were to read it in the Bible. You want to like these red letters, but he said, therefore I speak to them in parables. And this is very key to understand when reading the scriptures. You must understand that the Lord.
It ain't always the case. If you read the 6 and 11, ain't no red letters. That red letter thing is just a new thing to let you know that the Lord is speaking. So don't take that verbatim.
Read that again.
Matthew 13, verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables.
Right. He said he speaks to them in parables. So the Lord, when he's speaking in parables. All right, and the parables is a simple story that is given to make a deeper point, you know what I'm saying? So you can keep on reading. You can read that and you can hop back to Luke chapter 11.
Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing, see not, and hearing, they hear not.
Right.
Neither do they understand.
Right, so everybody not going to understand it like what was just said. And these parables are to be taken in a way to find the true understanding or the true meaning of what was being said. So when you go back to Luke 11 and 34.
Luke 11, verse 34. The light of the body is the eye.
The light of the body is the eye. You know, but we just read in St. John chapter 6 and 63, it says the flesh profited nothing. All right? So it's a deep purpose for what this was saying. You know, simply put, the eyes are the light to the body. When you close your eyes, it's darkness. You know what I'm saying? But when you open your eyes, you allow light to come in, and you're able to see outwardly. You know what I'm saying? Everything is made manifest in front of you when you open your eyes, because light is able to come in. So that's the simple story. But the deeper part of it is that this is meant to be understood on a spiritual level. All right? So we're talking about the spiritual body. All right? The spiritual body desires light as well. You know, if the spiritual body had eyes, those eyes would be focused on the law, because the law is light. So to feed the spiritual body, you must understand these scriptures. That's how you feed the spiritual body. Understand the scriptures and the true doctrine. It's because it says the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. You know what I'm saying? So for a spiritual understanding, it must obtain to spiritual things and words that are spiritual. And the only way to understand these words that are spiritual is to be able to understand these parables, right? All right? You got it? We can read from the topic though.
Luke 11:34. Luke 11, verse 34. The light of the body is the eye.
Right.
Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body is also full of light.
Yeah, so when your eye is single, your eye being single is ultimately going to.
I'm just saying, understand these words that are spiritual, understand these parables. That's not true. You got those that that got a smaller measure than other people. So that's why you got Israelites that set up, that can teach things, initial things. There's nothing parabolic about Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Alright? It is what it is. That's why the Lord said, hold fast that which thou hast until he come. Alright? So the parables is just a furtherance of the spiritual language. Right? It's a furtherance of these spiritual words. That's the highest level of these spiritual words, which all these words that the brother saying is spiritual. But ultimately to understand these spiritual words at all, it's not understanding the parables. There's levels to it. So to ultimately understand these spiritual words in its entirety is obviously to understand the parables too. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. So it's deep. You don't understand the parables. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's how you have Jake out here thinking. You know? You have Jake out here thinking that they don't, maybe I don't really get it. I don't get the parables. No, they ain't fit. That's the highest level of the spiritual world. Alright? But ultimately, the elect will only get. Alright? So you have the Pharisees that understood what they knew or understood to a certain degree the law. But really they didn't. Ultimately the law is spiritual. You see what I'm saying? I say that to say there's levels to it. So what you do understand, you understand. That's not dictated by whether or not you understand the parable. That's how it sounds good. Alright? That's if you are the elect possible or more than likely possible. Alright?
The water. Yeah, the water for that. You know, it's always a furtherance and always something more to understand and learn. You know what I'm saying? So, same thing.
Luke 11, verse 34. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thy eye is single, thy whole body is also full of light.
Real quick, go to Revelation 2 and 9. So the Khazars, step up there.
Because I've heard about you guys, I've seen you guys, but I've never talked to you guys. But in the past year or so, I've found some things out. A year ago, I thought you guys were fucking nice. But now you guys are so nice. Because, you know, Alexander Solzhenitsyn?
Who was that?
So he was in communist Russia. He was in the Gulag system. And he wrote a book called The Gulag Archipelago about how tyrannical the communist system was in Russia. All right, he won a Nobel Prize for it. All right, and everybody thinks that's his life's work. But what I didn't know is that he had another book called 200 Years Together that has never been published in English. It will never be published in English. So we have a Nobel Prize winner. We got a book that's his life's work that they won't publish. You know what the book's about? The Khazars and how the Jews were behind the communist revolution in Russia.
Revelation 2.
So the truth, real quick, is Psalm 85:11. Truth is coming out. That's why a lot of people don't think we crazy anymore. Because there's only one truth. And common and contrary to popular belief is stuff that completely is opposite of what people think is the truth. That's really, on average, the truth. You know? But go ahead.
Psalm 85, verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
So it's prophesied that truth is eventually going to come out. It's only one truth. Now go to Revelation 2.
Revelation 2, verse 9.
Matter of fact, yeah, you can get it in that word.
Revelation 2, verse 9. For I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Now, the people that's actually funding everything are so-called Jewish people. The Bible say those people are the synagogue of Satan because the actual Jews are the so-called blacks, are the Negroes. Give me
So that's
Hebrews 7 and 14. Yeah.
That's a part that I don't understand.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Because my understanding was the way that I found out about this Khazar theory, okay, was that there do exist actual Jews from 2 of the tribes of the original 12 tribes, Judah, and I forget the other one, Levi. And so they believe that there are still out there white-looking Jews from Judah. So do you guys think that how do Africans fit into this?
Okay. We can speak to what you initially came with. I mean, it all go together. It's really, you have to understand that to understand why you don't understand the whole Judah thing and who is really the blacks and the whites. You gotta understand what you came up with. So if you can read that real quick, yeah. Hebrews 7.
Well, like on that other sign that you had, the missiles had the USSR on them.
Right.
Why did you guys choose that?
Well, that's a whole other thing.
Hebrews 7, verse 14. It is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Because ultimately you're going to learn, by the time you leave here, it's all one, everything goes in one direction. All of it. Everything that's happening is going towards one truth. This is why you're here. What you read and what you studied, all the parts you read. It's like if what we went through and what we
Well, I
read.
just wanted to pull over it. I'm like, oh, finally I saw some. I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah, we going to give it to you.
But
read that real quick.
Hebrews 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe?
Yeah, go ahead.
Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
It's 12 tribes. Every tribe is Judah. They say the Lord, the Messiah, comes from Judah. Now, Judah, when you read the Bible about how the Lord looked, they say, give me Revelation 1 and 14. White people being the Jews. And you just said the Lord from Judah, right? The Messiah. Sprang out of Judah. Right? It's evident. It's fact.
Revelation 1, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So his head and his hairs were white like wool. Now when you watch the Passion of the Christ, is that what Mel Gibson is depicting? Exactly. So you got discrepancy right there. Right? And remember that man that he's playing and said to be
I'll take a picture of this.
Yeah, that's fine. He said to be a Jew. Alright, so read that one time.
Revelation 1 and 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
See, so he has white, woolly hair. Watch the Passion of the Christ again. His hair is not white, nor is it woolly. Now, who has woolly hair? Alright, that's woolly hair. That's woolly hair. I have woolly hair. Go ahead.
It's white as snow.
That's white as snow. Go ahead.
Would you not also say that
It's not a color.
No, yeah, no. But would you not also say that genetic Hebrews, not the Ashkenazi Khazars, also have curly, woolly hair?
Which one? You said genetic Hebrews?
Like you know how there's today I don't know what you guys would consider them, but there's Ashkenazi and then there's Sephardim. They're like the Arabic Jews. They have sort of woolly hair, don't they?
Well, our white woolly hair, it looks just like so-called black people do. Like you get a lamb and you throw their wool out, it looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
Right? You got lighter textures. But really, it goes further. It goes further than the hair. That's just one depiction of a man to be.
So you guys
from the tribe of Judah, which is where you get the word Jew from. Jew comes from the word Judah.
Yeah, right. And again, I'm just asking. So you guys believe that you are descendants of the actual Jew?
We're the literal bloodline, living, breathing Jews right now.
Okay.
And it never changes.
But
it shows you how we know.
So you don't believe in the Torah.
Yeah, we do. We believe in the whole.
The Talmud. I mean, you don't believe in not the Talmud, but you also believe in the New Testament.
Yes, the Old Testament and the New Testament. 14 books that was once in between the two. This is called the Apocrypha.
So let me ask you this.
This is how the Bible really came out.
I know. I have a King James version, but I just got a standard Christian one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more modern language, but Apocrypha. Yes.
That was the that took it out.
Right. Well, doesn't the Catholic? They still have it. What the fuck was I just gonna ask? So do you still retain the Jews are the God's chosen people and you guys are the chosen people, or do you believe in the New Testament message that Jesus came to save everyone?
Yeah, a lot of questions.
I know.
I can outright tell you got to be patient though. I can outright tell you now, no, that's according to Scripture. That's not what I think. That's not what I believe.
You believe that you're the chosen one.
Souls of people never change. I'll tell you how it's going to end. You know, now, really, this will help speed up the process of what we do. Finish reading this, and we're gonna go straight to that. Because it all go together. Go ahead. You got the right questions.
That's why it snowed. His eyes were like a flame of fire.
Yep.
And his feet were like a fine brass.
Represent the fury that's in his eyes. But why is he depicted as being angry, fiery? For what? Because there's been lies going on, and his image was crucified, right? Image physically and what he stands for, right? The way he actually lives life. He don't love everybody.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's has him angry.
So here's another follow-up question then, because not just the Talmud, but the Old Testament teaches that someday the Jews will inherit the earth and everybody else will be their slaves. Do you guys believe that?
That's in the Bible. Now, we're not going to rule over, and obviously we believe with the Hebrew Israelites, we know that, right? We're not going to rule over people wickedly. We're going to be the leaders of the earth, right? People are going to be subservient after so many years to us.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's not.
I'm not too familiar with the New Testament. I'm not too familiar with the New Testament, but what I've been told, the whole point of Jesus coming was to remove the chosenness and apply to everyone.
Literally came to do the opposite. Because the chosenness is not being pushed. What's being pushed right now is the openness for everybody. Now, remember, contrary to popular belief, what's really true is basically completely opposite of what people think is true. God does not love everybody. People think God doesn't hate. That's completely opposite of the truth. Completely. Now, if you can finish that, bro, we're going to get to it.
Revelation 1:15. And his feet were like a fine brass.
Now, brass is a derivative of brown, like a copper penny, right? Well, how brown?
As if they were burned in a furnace.
Very dark. So your feet really the normal. It's the same color as your body, right? So that's a dark-skinned man with white woolly hair. So that's a so-called black man.
In a furnace, and his voice was the sound of many waters.
Real loud. I give you Daniel 10 and 5. This is another depiction of Christ in the Bible. Daniel sees Christ, right?
Daniel 10 verse 5.
People call Christ.
Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, behold, a certain man clothed in linen.
Clothed in linen, come on. That's the material, the fabric, come on.
Whose loins were girded with fine gold of Euphaz.
Yeah, golden girdle from the land of Euphaz, which is known for the best gold. Go ahead.
His body also was like the beryl.
His body was like the beryl. Beryl is a derivative of green. So he had a green garment, right? Now when you watch Passion of Christ, they're not depicting what's written. All you have to do is stick to the script. Base your script, your movie script off the scriptures. But they didn't do that, come on?
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
His face as the appearance of lightning with all that light, come on? That knowledge, that understanding.
And his eyes as a lamp of fire.
Just like you just read, John seen the same thing. John the Revelator, that fury in his eyes. Come on.
And his arms and his feet.
Now I say his feet and his arms this time. Come on.
Were like into color to polished
Like
brass.
into what?
Like into color.
See, he was colored. Into what color?
Polished brass.
Polished brass. So he's a shiny, so-called black man, brown. Why all my skin is like polished brass. See what I'm saying? It's like a derivative of brass. You know? Burning is gonna turn dark. Alright? So he's so-called black man with really white hair. Alright, now go to Isaiah 14 and 21. 14 and 1. I'm sure you heard this before. So if you have, let us know. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14 verse 1.
Just take the scripture.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Now in the end all be all, getting straight to the point. He's gonna have mercy on Jacob. The salvation is only for Jacob. Go ahead.
And will yet choose Israel.
He's gonna choose who?
Choose Israel.
He's gonna choose Israel.
So do you guys believe that Israel, modern day Israel, is your actual homeland?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me Zechariah 9 and 6.
So do you guys think that Africans came from Africa to go up there? Or that originally Africans are from there and came down there?
Well, when you say Africans, you talking about us?
Black people.
It's all good. Zechariah 9 and 6. Now, we're not actually, the so-called black people are not Africans.
Okay.
We got three classifications of people. Shemites, the sons of Shem, known as Shemites, or Semitic.
Right.
And then you got Hamitic, sons of Ham, right? And then you got, the sons of Japhetic people, right? Now, the sons of Ham are actually dark people of the earth. Really, everybody of the earth is dark or brown, except the so-called white people. They're the only people that are relevant, right? Now, when you read the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, you look up the word Ham. It tells you, we didn't write this book. You look that book up. Where's that? Yeah, right here. This is out of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. So these are actual Africans.
Yeah.
This is so-called black people. Completely different. Ham, this is what it says. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably after about 96 years before the flood, one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
No, I think for sure this is
Yeah, not the Negroes. That's literally what it says. The so-called white man wrote it.
So you guys don't associate with continental Africa?
They don't even claim us. Africans don't even like so-called black people.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
I know they don't like American black.
We think that we're these people because they found us in West Africa. And notice Egypt is Africa. So what happened, Jerusalem, that's our homeland, it was sacked in 70 AD. You ever heard of that?
We're studying it right now.
Yeah.
I go to school in Concordia. Right now I'm taking Old Testament and New Testament. And like the first week we're doing 70 AD. Jerusalem being attacked by the Assyrians, by the Macedonians, and by Ptolemy. Maybe not.
Ptolemy reign. We reported that in our writings too. That's talking about the Maccabees before Christ came. Now, Christ, he prophesied of Jerusalem being sacked because he basically had another witness to what Daniel said, which was the sacking of Jerusalem. Daniel was a Jew too. He'd be a so-called black man. Daniel was prophet, he was on top of Jew. So, he seen the sacking of Jerusalem 70 AD. Christ told them in Matthew 24 chapter 28 about what's called the abomination of desolation. That's the sacking of Jerusalem. He was telling our people, the Jews, so-called black people in the land at that time, right? Which the land we were in at that time, but it was being governed by the Romans. Because the Romans were in power. Those are so-called white people. And
Why do you say so-called?
Because no one's white. It's like no one's black.
Not actually.
Yeah. So it's so-called. That's not even who we are.
Okay, I understand.
Nonetheless, he said, this is going to happen. Flee is over with. Because we have broke the commandment, the oath, right? And once that oath was broke, it would bring forth the curses that was in the oath, which is we would go into slavery by slave ships. We would go back into Egypt again with ships. The only people that went into Egypt, because Egypt in the Bible is known as the house of bondage. The only people that went into a place of bondage or slavery by ships, with ships, the so-called black people. You understand? Now, that was said to happen. That was told that was going to happen to the Israelites. You know? So that was post the sacking of, that happened, right? Post the sacking of Jerusalem in 70 AD, which caused us to move into Africa. You gotta remember, Israel right by, it's basically Africa. That's Israel, it's Africa.
Yeah.
Right? So you can walk just like we did. We walked into Israel. When Christ was a baby, he had his mother, Joseph and Mary, they head out in Israel. But Herod was looking for Christ. Yeah, it's not a baby. So his parents hid out in Africa, aka Egypt, because they could blend in. They were dark.
So sorry to interrupt. Including Latinos and Native Americans.
Right.
Can you explain that to me?
Now, fast forward, we fled into West Africa with the same tactics that Christ's father and mother did to blend in. They were all dark people. So we hid out for a certain period of time, off the land to the Romans, right? They took it over. We found us, the Hamites found us in West Africa, sold us off into, go to that real quick, join me.
So are there Africans mixed up in the slave ships on the way here? Like, or are all black Americans Hebrew
We're
Israelites?
going to get you, but we're not.
Joel 3 verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Meaning when he turned back, when he take us out of captivity, because we're still in captivity now. The captivity we were promised to go in if we broke the commandments. All right, real quick, go to Deuteronomy 20 and 15. We're going to come right back there.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 15.
Real quick, come on. And you're going to see there's none but soundness in this doctrine. We got these doctrines, right? Seminary school, they don't have a doctrine. You got to have the spirit give you the doctrine. Or you got to learn from the Israelite men that have been set up. Those are the only prophets. Those are the only people given to teach the Bible. Right?
But it shall come to pass. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
You don't listen, all these curses, you break this oath, all these curses will come upon you, Israel, and overtake you. We can do it on 1-1, and then we're going to pick the main curse. This is how we know that it is right. That's so-called black, Latinos, and American Indians, the only people that have the curses upon them. All people that match the curses. 1-1.
Deuteronomy 1:1. These be the words which Moses spoke unto all Israel.
That's it. So going back to now we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter. These are still the words Moses speaking to all Israel. Give me 37. Alright?
Deuteronomy 28 verse 37. Now shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
So the things that happen to so-called black people, movies are made out of. You know, the words, the names, the titles that are put upon so-called black people and Latinos and Native American Indians, those are bywords. A byword means a mocking or a taunt, swoop, spit, wetback, equal, rainbow, black, nigger, you know? And all of that we only have used to identify ourselves. You can't use any of that to identify yourself. So clearly just off that we've been cut off. But once again, the only people that are dealing with things like that, so-called black people, Latinos, and Native American Indians, that's one of the curses that the Israelites would say to go to break God's commandments. They would be mocked and taunted with names that completely are just ludicrous, man.
All right, I'm going to go do some studying.
One more. Okay. Give me 68. 68.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
You gotta hear this. This is the patch in what you will miss. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Right? By the way whereby I spake unto thee.
This is the main part.
So the Lord shall bring me into Egypt again with ships.
He said, I'm going to bring you Israelites back into Egypt, slavery again with ships. Now, who the only people you know that went to slavery with ships? Now, is that a coincidence for the Israelites?
They said Egypt, right?
What if Egypt means? Give me Exodus 20 and 2.
The place of bondage.
Bondage, in other words, it is.
That's it.
Yeah, so you got to say,
Well, then what do you say? What do you say to all the other countries that had slavery?
they're getting ready to go into slavery. That's just because nobody paid for this to this day. Neither has reparations been given to the people that succumbed to this to this day. They still thinking about it, and really not. But all of it is going towards the Bible being fulfilled. People getting ready to be so-called white person. You move. You could be Israelites. You don't see color. The Israelites do look like other nations now because of all the mingling and false breeding and stuff like that. If you go further back in, probably in your ancestors, you probably got the same ancestors we had. So over time, right? Like say you had your father, say your father's so-called white man, but his father was so-called black man. You look how you look compared to me.
Oh no, I got a buddy like that. My buddy, his great grandmother is black, like dark black. He looks exactly like that.
See? Yeah. So, and that's due to the curses that befell the Israelites that they're willing to come out of. Now, really quick, finish that, because you're not gonna hear this nowhere, man. And we're not gonna be out here forever because the world's ending right now. Finish
Yeah,
that.
dude, I fucking feel like it. Excuse my language. I feel like it.
No, it's all good. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Yep.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships,
Yep.
by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you should be sold unto your enemies. Sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
See, for bondmen and bondwomen.
No man shall buy you.
No, we agree. In here. Now, Christ didn't come back to save everybody. He's coming back to save his people out of the captivity and repay all the nations that crucified him a second time, which is talking about Revelation 11 chapter. And he's going to actually bring the nation of Israel back on top. So that's the only way we're coming out of this. So they're not going to give us, there you go, you the Israelites, they're not going to do that, man, because they rule. And they're ruling through us staying at the bottom. So of course they're going to keep telling you we black and have us looking crazy on borders. This is the 100% truth. This will shut down any college institution you can go to. Any pastor you can think about. They cannot confound this doctrine. You want to learn the Bible, come up here. Don't go to seminary school, waste your money.
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, just letting you know.
All right.
You ain't one.
Nice to meet you guys. Nice to talk to you guys.
All right, man.
3 and 1. For behold, in those days,
Listen to this as you go.
and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem,
That's it. We're going to bring again the captivity of Jerusalem.
I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. They will plead with them,
and the other people. That's the answer you want, right?
and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations.
See? That's it, man. Just let but he really, that was his concern. He wanted to hear about the fake Jews and the real Jews. Because that was really the main concern of that. He said, you know, get how we the Jews. You know what I'm saying? How we the so-called. So really, he got his question answered. He tell me he doesn't coincidence. You know? It damn sure do sound like one if I'm in disbelief. Like, I don't want to admit it too, but it damn sure, you know what I'm saying, sound like, man, that's driving a hard bargain. Yeah. He used to think he was nice, now he don't think he's nice. And I think I was kicking on that while I was meditating. That's the time we're in. Study, you're not studying. I mean, he might come to the Lord might allow this shit, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, you're not going to get it how we get it, you know? But they ain't supposed to get it being so-called white person. Don't not tell him to get it, man. So yeah, damn, the so-called Sephardic Jews, they fake. They're just getting into the hand of the wicked. So everything you know is probably lies. You see what I'm saying? Unpopular positions. Popular positions. God loves everybody according to popular positions. Christ come back for everybody, you know, popular positions. The Israelites is dead among popular consensus, but that's lies. Among because it's popular consensus. You know the Bible talk about the wild gate. Many there be that go in. Those were all the fields good. But they lie. And then the straight gate is where the hard pills to swallow are at. See? You know? And that's what? If you don't repent, God's gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're talking about.
And that's, you know, that lead right back in to what you just said, man. The real Jews, they walk around in darkness, man. We got a prime example right to our right, you know what I'm saying? They walk along not knowing and understanding this. You know? You know, although they're young, they got a chance, an opportunity to hear this, man.
Something to do. Yeah. I know what's going on right now. I know all this in the air, right? Turn back. Maybe because he's cool. You know what I'm saying? He's better than you or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's good. He thinks that he's cool. He got the flag, little pets, you know what I'm saying? Little orange, little skinny things that make you good. There you go, man. It's like right down the block or something. Like you're gonna end up like you're gonna end up on the news when they take they're gonna have one sock on the damn bed, man. They're gonna take one of your shoes off, take your other shoe off. You're gonna have one sock on that. Damn, they can put a toe tag on your ass. You know what I'm saying? With that pink hoodie, and that goes back into the topic. What? They have no cloak for their sins. That's the spirit. Y'all can't say y'all ain't know. You know? Y'all ain't gonna be able to say the Lord is wrong when He's bringing that judgment on you. You know what I'm saying? And you backing up too. I thought he playing or something.
Yeah, shit was crazy. I ain't know, but I just looked over. I'm like, why is he laughing? Like,
yeah.
Like joking or something. This shit crazy, man.
And she said, and then she think, you know what I'm saying?
They being led by a woman over there. Man. You got it, brother. You can bring that up.
That's why you gotta tell them straight. Like, you better separate from your friends, bro. They get you killed. Yeah. You're not even being friends with them.
Man, it was resonating with him. You can tell. They captivated him. He just too cool. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality of our people, the Israelites, man.
But you ain't got no cloak, because now brother done pulled that off your eyes.
Pulled it straight off.
You're able to see now, like, yeah, I don't really gotta be subjected to these niggas because these my so-called homies, but they also, we might die tonight shit. You know what I'm saying? They might die tonight shit. So I ain't trying to die tonight. Let me get away from them. Right? Thanks for showing that to me, bro. You got no cloak for your sins now, little homies. Little brother. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Sirach 5 verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
Yeah, so, you know, when you get this word, man, don't make no tarrying to turn. You know what I'm saying? Turning means coming back into this understanding, this truth, man. So you're not walking around out here not knowing what's going on, not knowing that you're subject to this world that hates you. You know what I'm saying? The world that's ran by the so-called white man. You walking around like it's just cool, but you know, you hear something that sounds like something, but you with your guys, so you don't wanna take it in because you're trying to hold on to some kind of whatever it might be, some kind of broken standard in your mind, something that you think is right. You know, so you hold on to the ways of those people who not doing nothing for you, and they can't do nothing for you because they don't have anything to truly give you. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what's going on. The brother told the little man's like, hey, this place about to, you know, this y'all over with, man. This place done with. This place about to be destroyed. And I see it resonated with him, and it captivated him and within his own understanding, because it's clear to anybody to see this place over with. So when it's told to you, you know, it captivates you. But being in a situation where you're around empty people that's walking around in darkness, it's hard to leave that, even though it shouldn't be, man. You see life, but yeah, you choose to go into death. And that's what this is saying. Make no tarrying. You got it?
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. You know? And I said like that for a reason. You shouldn't make any tarrying. Tarrying is like waiting behind, stalling. You know what I'm saying? This is the only place you're going to be able to get this truth is when you see the men that the Lord has set up to come out and teach this truth, man. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it anywhere else, man. Especially when you can get it direct, you can get it online. You know what I'm saying? But you directly face to face, man. Take some time, you know, and get this word, man. Get the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the time right now. You have time right now. This place isn't destroyed, but we're coming into times where this isn't going to be possible. We ain't going to be out here forever, man. Why? Because we're looking towards our future, and we know what's to come. We know what's to come, so we're making adjustments and putting ourselves in position, you know, to dodge, you know, all of the shortcomings that are to come here. You can finish reading that, folks.
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, put not off from day to day.
Yeah, but not off from day to day. You know, it's something you want to come in quick. Get this quick, man. Because ultimately you gotta make up. You're playing makeup the whole time. You gotta make up for lost time, not knowing who you are. Make up for time in your life that you thought that you were so-called black. You see? So on and so forth. You gotta remake up this time, so it ain't no time like now to get this truth, man. Especially when it's presented to you. Especially when you can walk right into it. Especially when it's available. You see? Make no tarrying and return to the Lord. And put off not from day to day. You got it?
For suddenly,
yeah,
shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
Yeah, that's something we speak about, you know, the Lord is a sudden power. You got something? Yeah, the Lord is sudden power. So he moves quick. Because suddenly this whole place gonna change up, man. You ain't gonna be able to walk around in your legion when martial law is put in forth. You know what I'm saying? When these devils come down on this place like you never thought could happen. You can bring it out what you got, brother.
It says 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall come up as a thief in the night. So let's go to the suddenly.
Yeah, you can read it every time.
It's 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night.
God, and that's just showing you that the Lord, again, like the brothers just said, the Lord is a sudden power. He could come like a thief in the night, like a thief in the night. You know, that's how he's coming. It's not saying he's coming at a certain time. That's another parable. It's likened to how a thief comes at night when someone least expects it. When you're resting, when you think that you got the time. You know, when you may be tarrying, when you may be putting off. You see, that's the time that the Lord comes, like a thief in the night. So if you got something to say, you got it?
Yeah. I just got another scripture for that one. Matthew 24 and 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known and what watch the thief will come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for such an hour as you think not the Son of Man cometh.
Got it.
So it says, don't put off day to day. So procrastinate, because it's the last thing that you want to procrastinate about. Out of all the things that you used to procrastinate about, this is what you don't want to procrastinate about, because he's going to suddenly come with his wrath at an hour that you think not. So you gotta don't tarry, don't put it off. That's it.
And I like to say, like, if you know that a thief is coming at night, man, if you know somebody's coming to break into your house, if you got the word and understanding that something is to come, you're going to prepare for it, man. You're going to be ready for that time to come. You know what I'm saying? And that's therefore you put off not day to day, so you know what's to come. You know, because we understand that there are times that are coming. We know that the Lord is returning, man. So to be prepared and be in good standing in that time, you're going to be putting yourself in position. You're going to be ready for the thief of the night to come. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's not the thief of the night. It's the Lord coming to bring judgment to this place, man.
Most importantly, the point, the topic, you have no cloak for your sins. You know what I'm saying? You need to know that you know. So obviously, that basically was just said to you, man. You know that the thief is on the way. You know the Lord, how he works. You know he can get you like that. You have no cloak for your sin. All right? Get St. John 15:22.
St. John 15, verse 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin.
Yeah, so what's been spoken to? Sin. Real quick. What's been declared unto you? All the things the brother said,
Micah 3, verse 8. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression.
So that's what's been spoken to you. Those words that's been spoken to you. Your transgression. That you might not be right with the Lord, or that you aren't right with the Lord. Right?
And to Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin.
Yep. Transgression means sin. Well, sin is going against what the Lord's ways. Well, the Lord's lifestyle. Well,
hear this, I pray you.
Yep. He said, hear this. Well,
I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob.
that's it.
John 15:22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin.
So you weren't out here talking to you. You ain't hear this video. You know, you didn't have sin. But that ain't the case. You see? Yeah.
But now they have no cloak for their sin.
So now there's no excuse. When that suddenness of a higher power just come out of nowhere and intervene on your life in a way that you can't control. Whether it be for worse. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have no excuse in that day like, oh, this bogus or that's not right or this wrong. Or what's going on? There's not gonna be no excuse for none of you people. You know what I'm saying? You know, ultimately, the Lord, he's coming back. So we making it to that day. And whether or not he approves of you or not, you ain't gonna have no excuse. You see what I'm saying? There's not gonna be anything to justify you being condemned if you get condemned. Why? Because his word was being brought out to you and he was going to take heed to it. You see what I'm saying? Pretty much right to wrong. That was the show. That was shows you. And to prepare ultimately for the battle that the damn devil's getting ready to come into. These prophecies stop popping like left and right now. So we at the end of the last days right now. You got it.
John 15. Same thing.
Give me Luke chapter 11 to 33.
That's the topic. The topic is what? They have no cloak for their sin. You need to know that you don't. There's no excuse. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
7, verse 33. No man, when he hath lighted a candle, put it in the secret place.
Right. So when you got a candle, you know, or they're going back into that lamp, it's not hidden. You don't light a candle to hide it. You light a candle to use it. And that light are these words, man. And they represent what the Lord has spoken to be good. You know what I'm saying? To be godly. You know what I'm saying?
To show you to get out. So you ain't got no reason to stay in the dark now.
That's right. Keep on going.
Put it in a secret place, neither under a bushel, but on a candlestick.
Right, you put that light on the candlestick. You're not hiding in the bushel. Put it on the candlestick. And that's what we are likening to out here, man. We likening to that candlestick. We that light, man. We're to come out here and shed light into this dark world that we're in, man. You got it?
That they which come, that they which come in may see the light.
See, the they that may come in may see the light. They that come in may see this light. Therefore, they don't have an excuse when you're being told. You see? That's why we out here shining like lights. You know, Lord willing. You got it. You can finish up. That was it?
That's what we go 34.
Oh, that's it. That's it. All right? So we come out here, we shine like lights, man. We're coming to bring forth this truth and warn our people of what is to come, you know? And, you know, you give them, like the brother had told the brother, you can get it the easy way or you can get it the hard way. But regardless, that veil was taken off your eyes, so you have no veil to hide behind anymore because it's given to you. The light shine. So, with that said, let's just say, Lord, whether it was edifying. You got anything to say, brother? All right, so we close it out here. Before we go out, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'akwadash Shukah.
Right.